Hey guys, it's Holly. Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do an update on my 7-day sugar detox that I did. So ultimately I did a 7-day added sugar detox. Okay, so I didn't eliminate whole fruits. I didn't eliminate fruit juice either. I don't really drink much fruit juice anymore because of my blood sugar, but I do still consume things like kombucha on a fairly regular basis. Items that don't really have added sugar, so like, a shot of wheatgrass, stuff like that, might have some lemon or some lime in it, things of that nature. But for the most part, not really consuming like the fructose, like juices in general, fruit juices. Okay, so anyway, so I eliminated all added sugars, in which this was not too much different than, just my typical diet that I have been following recently. But however, I did happen to notice that there were several things that I was eating on a not necessarily a daily basis, but a pretty regular basis that had added sugars that I wasn't so much aware of. So at this point, I feel like I am so much more just simply aware of the extra sugars that are added into some of the other foods that I was eating, things that are a little bit more processed. So, even with health foods, like, some of that stuff is still processed stuff that you get from the health food store, packaged up, things of that nature. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all have to eat, and it's not like we can all just like run out on our farmland and grab everything, as we go. We can't farm every little thing that we eat in our society, but, for ourselves, that is. So long story short, I feel like the 7-day added sugar detox is very beneficial. I didn't lose any extra weight from it in and of itself. I do feel a little bit less bloated. I feel, just a little bit better, a little bit sharper mentally. So, and I'm not one of those people that feels like sugar is just such a horrible thing. I think too much of it, yes, too much of anything is a bad thing, but I don't necessarily feel that like regular like pure cane sugar is so much the problem, unless you're getting like excessive amounts of it. And see, the problem is just, adding in sugar to everything. And, it's the same thing with like salt. You can get too much salt. And, then you think about like the processed table salt, the bleached out processed table salt, that's really actually quite unhealthy for us. And they add in iodine and try to tell us it's healthy for us just because it has iodine, But anyways, long story short, what I'm ultimately trying to say is I think it's a good idea to take an overall look at your diet by doing, a week of no added sugars. And heck, if you don't feel like doing a week, don't do a week. Just do a few days, or even 1 day or 2 days, whatever you feel like you can do or want to do. And it doesn't just have to be sugar. It can be anything you want it to be. Add in ingredients that you might want to, not necessarily avoid entirely, but just see how you do without them and see if maybe you might notice anything. With me, it's like we realize that, sugar can be an addiction, just like anything. And I come to realize it's actually really a lot more difficult than I thought to find foods that don't have added sugar. So sticking to more whole foods, and ultimately I'm just more mindful. And with that being said, it's great. So I went ahead and I did eat a few things yesterday that had some added sugars, and I was good with it. It felt great, but I think from now on it's going to be more of an occasional thing for me to have the added sugars, or at least just, somewhat considerably less than what I was consuming before. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy this video. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.